So this week I wanted to do something a little bit different and take a look at Knott's neighbor to the north. That is Universal Studios, their Halloween event, Halloween Horror Nights, and what's going right this year and what's going terribly wrong. We'll address the elephant in the room first, the crowds. They are massive this year, and I feel like this is a problem that's been growing annually. This isn't something that's just isolated to this year, and it's not even isolated to this park either. This is also happening. I'm seeing reports out in Florida that the Orlando park is also just absolutely out of control. I don't know if this is Knott's overselling tickets, being greedy, what have you. They're definitely not losing money with the opening of Nintendo World this year and the forward progress of Epic Universe out in Florida as well. So what's going on? I think it's a combination of things. They are selling almost the same amount of tickets that they've been selling for the past few years, but there's less to do. There's 8 mazes, the one show, and everything is compressed to the upper and the lower lot. So that's a combination for disaster. I don't feel like the quality of the houses is in any way deteriorating. It is not it's fantastic. The houses were all fine. There are some where you can tell they just kind of put by the wayside, threw an IP on it, Stranger Things, and just kind of let it be its own thing. And then there's stuff that John Murdy really paid attention to, Stross. And you can tell the difference there. But with all that said, the public is thinking differently. Stranger Things has over a 2-hour wait within the first hour that the early entry is open. I've seen videos, and I'm sure you've seen the videos too, of the early entry lower lot just getting absolutely smashed with people. Just shoulder to shoulder, Disneyland during Christmas levels of people. And this is with having to pay for early entry now. So Universal's even making a little bit more cash. So what's going on? It's pretty simple. They need more mazes, and they need to expand the footprint of the park again. Back in the late teens, before the pandemic and stuff, Universal had the Metro sets open, and I think that alleviated a ton of pressure from the other 2 lots. I don't know if it's possible to do the locations where Exorcist and Killer Clowns are this year, or I'm sorry, Exorcist and Holidays in Hell are this year, and open up the Toxic Tunnel back to the Metro sets, but it's worth a shot. And along the same token, can you still do Back by Curious George? Those 2 mazes there. I think Universal was planning on having the same size crowds with less offerings, which is why I think they put the Blumhouse display in the Kung Fu Panda Theater to try to eat a little bit of the lines up. Didn't work. There's still way too many people all over the park, but I mean, I appreciated it for what it was. I thought it was cool. It was a nice way to end the night for us. I think by opening the Metro sets, you do a couple things. You allow, obviously, another part of the park for people to kind of congregate. You have room for 3 more mazes down there and even 2 more scare zones. 3 if you count the Toxic Tunnel. You can do the Toxic Tunnel every year. You don't have to change that ever. That could just be a mainstay. Just because that's fun. And it's just something to go through when you're traveling from set to set. But if you're going to sell the amount of tickets that you're selling, you've got to give us a minimum 10 mazes. I don't know if John Murdy is just tired and just kind of winding down. There have been whispers that I've heard in the past that he's kind of in his sunset years. He wants to retire, write a book, ride off into the sunset of Ireland, and just be done with it. And he's really developed a sense and a love for storytelling that you can tell with a lot of the original mazes that he's come up with in the past, with Pandora's Box, Scarecrow, and Monstros. The signs are starting to kind of pop up a little bit if you look for them. I could be completely off on this, but that's just kind of my feeling on the whole thing. It feels like he's been doing this for so long that he's just kind of spinning his wheels now, and everything is just very mechanical at this point, except for when he gets to write a story. And if you go to any of the Midsummer Scream panels, you can tell he loves writing and telling stories. He loves it so much, and he's good at it. And it's very much shown, especially this year. If you've gone through Monstrose, you've seen it. I don't think he has anything to do with the actual selling of the tickets to the park. I think that's Universal itself. And I think a lot of that is, it seems like it's analytical. A lot of it is forward projection through past experience. And again, it's how many tickets did we sell last year? And we'll use that number to sell tickets this year. The problem is when you're selling the same amount of tickets for less attractions, you're going to get the damage that you're getting this year. With Stranger Things, with The Last of Us, with The Exorcist, you're getting 3-hour wait times plus. I think it's a very simple solution. Open up the Metro sets, give us 2 or 3 more mazes. Hell, an 11 maze event? That'd be nuts. 11 maze. And I think one reason why they don't open the Metro sets is because they have the Terror Tram going. But like I said before, I don't think the Terror Tram is the people eater that it once was. I think that has kind of lost its luster. And if it means sacrificing that attraction to open 3 more and the Metro sets with 2 more scare zones in the back lot, I think you got to pull the trigger there. I think that's the right move. This year hasn't even really gotten started yet for Halloween. It's October 5th or something. So there's still a long time to go. We'll see what kind of develops over the next few weeks. But the story of the first month of Horror Nights has been the crowd levels, the lines. And that's not even just the lines inside the park. That's the lines to get into the park as well. Even the first couple weeks, the line to get through security was unbelievably long. I had never had to wait as long as I did to get into a park as I did this year. I don't know what's going on with that. That is a completely different monster altogether. And if anybody else has had that experience, let me know. I don't think I'm on an island here. I think this is, again, a common occurrence that's happening night in and night out at this park. Horror Nights, you have, and I hate to say this, but you have the top-notch event in Los Angeles. Halloween is back. Go to Fright Fest. That park is packed as well, especially since they're now getting in on the IP game with Saw and The Conjuring. While those mazes may have fallen a little short of expectation, it's the first year. Give them time. They'll figure it out. Scary Farm, they have their special event this year. The crowds have been pretty big on Fridays and Saturdays. The other 3 days that they're open during the week, average. So, Horror Nights, you are the big kahuna now. It pains me to say that as a Knott's enthusiast. Universal, you've got to figure this out. And I don't have my doubts. I think they will. I think this year should be an eye-opener for what happens if you just kind of let things go into idle mode and just keep doing it. Now, there's another angle to look at this too, and it's the amount of money they're making. Because not only are they selling all of these tickets, they're selling all the top-tier tickets. They have 2-tier express tickets now, one for one time through and one for unlimited that they're selling out of as well. They're selling tons of alcohol in the park, tons of food now in the park, tons of merch now in the park and out of the park. They are making money hand over fist. That might not be something that they'll want to do. So people they'll have to respond with their wallets, unfortunately, which means that they would have to start losing money to realize that they're doing something wrong. I don't think you can have massive crowds throwing cash at something, but a small portion of people bickering about how many people are there. Universal itself is on a fast track to growth, and I think Horror Nights is helping that. I just think that they can do better than what they offered this year, especially if they're going to allow the amount of people into the park that they allowed in this year. And I want to see them do better because I love that park, and I could bitch and moan until my face turns purple. I'm going again next year. I'm going again the year after that. Andrea and I, we're not going to stop going because of this. Will we complain about it because there's a lot of people there? Sure, America. But that's just how it goes. I just wanted to kind of throw that out there, kick that around. Maybe we can talk about it in the comment section kind of what you think. Do you think that's the right idea? Do you think that opening the Metro set and adding a couple more mazes to that backlot area again would do the trick? Do you think that would fix it? Or do you think that this is something that might be beyond Universal's control? Let me know down below. I've never done that before, and if I'm way off base, tell me. I feel like I've gone to this event enough that I sort of understand what's going on, and I worked at Universal, so I kind of know a little bit about what's happening behind the scenes. I see where the problems lie, and I kind of understand how they can fix them. And they're not hard fixes. They just require a little bit of sacrifice and motivation to get it done. So, Halloween Horror Nights. How can they fix the line sizes? How can they fix the crowds in the park? Your input is much more valuable than mine. Let's talk.